Hello everyone, welcome back to our Python Complete course for beginner. In the previous part, we learned everything about the while loop. We covered what loops are, why we use them, the syntax of the while loop, infinite loops, while true, and many practical programs. Now it's time to learn another very important loop in Python called the for loop. Means second, the for loop is here the for loop. A for loop is used to iterate through a sequence like list, tuple, or string. The for loop is one of the most commonly used loop in Python. Whenever we already know how many times we want to repeat the task, the for loop is usually best choice. So let's understand. Now first question is what is a for loop? Answer is a for loop is used to execute a block of code repeatedly for a fixed number of times. Unlike the while loop, we don't have to manually increase or decrease the loop variable. Python does that automatically. Let's understand with an example. Suppose I ask you to print the number from 1 to 5. Without a loop, you would write without a loop, you would write print 1, print 2, print 3, print 4, print 4, print 5. This works, but imagine printing a number from 1 to 1000. Writing 1000 print statement is impossible. Instead, we use a for loop. It automatically repeats the same task. And the syntax of for loop, we write in the notes syntax for loop, and I am writing syntax for loop. Column is clear. Okay. For variable in sequence, indentation means for space, statement here for is the keyboard, variable store one value at time, in is another keyboard, sequence can be generated using the range function. Now what is range? First read this thing. For variable in sequence, then colon, then statement. For is here, for is the keyboard, variable store one value at time, in is another keyboard, sequence can be generated using the range. Now what is range? Range function in Python. The range function in Python is used to generate a sequence of numbers. We can also specify the start, stop and step size as follows. Before learning the for loop, we just understand the range function. The range function generates a sequence of number. It does not print anything by itself. It simply provides number one by one to the for loop. Now let's understand it practically. Open the VS Code. Just open the VS Code. 100%. Log out. Okay. Now my example 1 is print number from 1 to 5. Print number from 1 to 5. For I in range 1 to 6, then colon print I. Save the file. How we can save? Alt F or S. Run the code. The output is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now let's understand how the program works. Look carefully at this first line. The range function has two values. The first value is 1. This is called starting value. This value is called starting value. The second value is 6. This is called stopping value. There is one important rule that every Python program should remember. The stopping value is never included. This means range 1 to 6 actually generated. We can see the output 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice that 6 is not printed. I repeat, the first value is 1. This is called starting value. And the second value is 6. This is called stopping value. There is one important rule that every Python programmer should remember. The stopping value is never included. Now let's see what happened inside a loop. During the first iteration, Python store 1 inside the I variable. 1 inside the I variable. Then it executes print I. So the output becomes 1. In the next, Python automatically changes the value I to 2. Again, Python automatically change the value I to 2. Again print I, then it will print 2. Then the value become 3, then the value become 4 and finally 5. After printing 5, there are no more number left in range. The loop should automatically. The loop stop automatically. One important thing to notice is that we never wrote I plus equal to 1. Python handled everything automatically. That's why the for loop is shorter and easier than the while loop. Now let's take another example. Print welcome message 5 times. Now let's print the same message 5 times. For I in range 5 times colon is mandatory. Then the next line, print welcome to Python. Welcome to Python. Now run the program. Go to terminal, but it is not showing here. First write the Python, then the file name. My file name is decision making .py. Now let's understand the logic. The time we wrote range 5. Many beginner thinks it generate 1 to 5, but that's not correct. Actually range 5 generate 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 5 number. I am repeating. Many beginner thinks it generate range 5, means this generate 1 to 5 value, but that's not correct. Actually it generate value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are 5 number. Since these are 5 number, the loop execute 5 times. Notice that we never printed the variable I. We only printed the message. That is why only welcome to Python appears 5 times. That's why only this welcome to Python appears 5 times. This is one of the most common uses of the for loop. Whenever you want to repeat the same task a fixed number of times, you can use range bracket parenthesis number. You can use range bracket start numbers. Whenever you want to repeat the same task a fixed number of times, you can use range number. Example, next example, print even number from 2 to 20. Let's print for I in range 2, 21, 2, then the colon, print I, run the code, I will write now run the code. Now see the output 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 and 20. Now let's understand every part. This time our range function contains 3 values. This time our range function contains 3 values. The first value is 2. This is the starting value. The second value is 21. This is the stopping value. Again remember that the stopping value is never included. The third value is 2. This is called the third value is 2. This is called step value. This step value tells Python how much to increase the number after every iteration. Since the step is 2, Python generate 2, then 4, then 6, then 8, then 10 and 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. In every next number increase by 2. Let's take 2 minutes. to see this. I have one question for you. Why next number increased by 2? Take 2 to 3 minutes to think that and read our previous material. Pause the video and think about that. Why every next number increased by 2? I am giving the answer. That is why only even number are printed. If we change the step value to 1, Python would print every number instead of only even numbers. So the step value controls how the sequence moved. Now let's take another example. Print odd number from 1 to 19. Now let's print all the odd number between 1 and 19. Type this for I in range 1, 20, 2, then colon. Don't forget to put the colon. Print. Now save the code and run the program. The output will be 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, then 15, then 17 and 19. Now let's understand the complete logic behind this program. Look carefully the first line, at the first line. For I in range bracket start 1, comma 20, comma 2, and then colon. The range function has three arguments. The first argument is 1. The first argument is 1. This is called the starting value. So Python starts counting from 1. The first argument is 1. This is called the starting value. So Python starts counting from 1. The second argument is 20. This is stopping value. Remember the golden rule of the range function. The stopping value is never included. That means Python will stop before reaching 20. Now look at the third argument. The third argument is 2. This is called the step value. It tells Python to increase the value by 2 after every iteration. Let's dry run the program. Initially I is equal to 1, Python print 1. Initially I is equal to 1, Python prints 1. Now Python adds 2, the value becomes 3. Again it print 3, then 5, then 7, then 9. The process continues until 19. After printing 19, Python adds 2. Now the value becomes 21. In the question 2 or 21? 2. No. After printing 19, Python add 2 again. Now the value becomes 21. Since 21 is outside the range, the loop stops automatically. That's why only odd number are printed. Let's take one another example. Reverse counting using for loop. Now let's print number in reverse order. Code for that. I in range 10, comma 0, comma -1, print I. Run the code. Okay, missing the column. Let's check. The output will be 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in the reverse order. Now you tell me what is the logic behind the code. Take 2 to 3 minutes and tell me without using ChatGPT or another AI tools. Now let's understand how the program works. The time, this time the first value is 10. So Python start from 10. The stopping value is 0. Remember the stopping value is never include. Now look at the third argument. The third argument is -1. This is the step value. Earlier we used a positive step like 2 which increased by the value, but this time we are using -1. A negative step tells Python to decrease the value after every iteration. Let's dry run it. First iteration I is equal to 10. First iteration is equal to 10. Output is 10. Second iteration I is equal to 9. Then output is 9. Third iteration I equal to 8. Then output is 8. This continues until 1. After printing 1, Python decreases the value again. Now it becomes 0. Since 0 is the stopping value, the loop ends automatically. Whenever you want a reverse counting, use a negative step value. You can understand or not what I am telling you. Okay, let's take one another example. Print multiplication table. Now let's create the multiplication table of any number entered by the user. First write number is equal to int, means input from user, input enter the number for I in range I, 1 and 11. Print number x, number now run the program. Enter the numbers for and user enter the 7. The output will be 7. 7 means a 7, the table of 7. Now let's understand the complete logic. First you take 2 to 3 minutes to think what I am doing and what you are understanding. Then I will be giving you a logic behind the code. Okay, let's take 2 minutes. First you try it yourself, then I provide you the solution behind the code. Now let's understand the complete logic. In the first line, the first this first this line takes input from the user. Number is equal to int input, then parenthesis, enter a number. Suppose the user enters 7. Now Python execute the loop for I in range bracket start 1 comma 11. This the range function generate the number 1 to 10. In the first iteration I is equal to 1. In the first iteration I is equal to 1. Python calculates 7 into 1 is equal to 7. In the second iteration I is equal to 2. Python calculates 7 by 2 is equal to 14. In the third iteration I is equal to 3. Python calculates 7 into 3 is equal to 21. This process continues until I becomes 10. After printing 7 into 10 is equal to 70. There are no more value left in the range. The loop stops automatically. Notice something very important. In the while loop, we had to manually write I plus equal to 1 to increase the value. But in the for loop, Python automatically moves to the next value. That's why the for loop is cleaner and easier whenever the number of repetition is already known. Now my next example, nested for loop. Now let's learn. I am saying in the notes if nested loop is there. No, nested loop is not there. For loop not. I will teach you in my language. Okay. Now let's learn one of the most important concept in Python, which is the nested for loop. Many beginners get confused when they hear the word nested, but don't worry. It is actually very simple. The word nested means one thing inside another. For example, uh, one box inside another box. Similarly, when we write one for loop inside another for loop, it is called nested for loop. We search here. What is a nested loop in Python? A nested loop in Python is simply a loop statement placed inside the body of another loop. In this structure, the inner loop executes completely from start to finish for every single iteration of the outer loop. If the outer loop runs A times and the inner loop runs B times, the block of code inside the inner loop will execute a total of A into B times. Basic syntax: you can nest for loop, while loop, or a combination of both. The most common structure in nested one for loop inside another one. This is code. Let's similarly, for example, one box inside another box. Similarly, when we write one for loop inside another for loop, it is called nested for loop. Let's understand it with a simple example. Let's take simple example for I in range 1 comma 4 for j in range 1 comma 4 colon print I equal to then comma I comma j equal to comma j. Now save the file and run the program. Controls and zoom. Now it's visual. The output will be I equal to 1, j equal to 1, I is equal to 1, j is equal to 2, I is equal to 1, j is equal to 3, I equal to 2, j is equal to 1, I is equal to 2, j is equal to 2, I is equal to 2, then j is equal to 3, I is equal to 3, then j is equal to 1, then I is equal to 3, j is equal to 2, I is equal to 3, j is equal to 3. Let's take 2 to 3 minutes to think about that, and then I will explain how it is coming in this way output. Wait for 2 to 3 minutes. Let's try yourself first. Then I am telling you what logic behind the code. Now let's understand this carefully. Look at the outer loop. For I in range 1 comma 4, then the most common means column is there. The outer loop generate 1, 2, 3. Now look at the inner loop. For j in range 1 to 4, this also generate 1, 2 and 3. Here the Here's the interesting part. Whenever the outer loop runs one time, whenever I am saying, whenever the outer loops runs one time, the inner loop runs completely. Let's try on it. Initially, I is equal to 1. Now the inner loop start. J is equal to 1. So output I is equal to 1. J is equal to 1. In the next, J is equal to 2. Output I is equal to 1. J is equal to 2. In the next, J is equal to 3. J is equal to 3. The output is I is equal to 1. J is equal to 3. Now the inner loop finish. Cos 4 is there, 4 is stopping point. The outer loop moves to the next value. Now I is equal to 2. Here I is equal to 2. Again the inner loop starts from the beginning. It print I is equal to 2, J is equal to 1. I is equal to 2, J is equal to 2. I is equal to 2, J is equal to 3. This is how nested loop works. A simple rule to remember for every one iteration. A simple rule to remember is for every one iteration. For every one iteration, note down that thing I am repeating. For every one iteration, write down. For every one iteration of the outer loop, the inner loop execute completely. For every one iteration of the outer loop, the inner loop execute completely. Now let's take another example. Square star pattern. Now let's print our first pattern. Okay, first pattern for I in range is 5. For I in range, for j in range 5, column is there, then print star pattern. The star pattern symbol of multiplication and is equal to this, then nothing print nothing. Run the program. Print and this is output. Many students get confused because of this line print star and normally print star. This print each star on a new line, but we write here end. Python does not move to the next line. You can see the Python does not move to the next line. Instead, it leaving it a space and continues printing on the same line. Now look at the J loop. For J in range 5, it print 5 star in one row. Just wait, we can check this one. This is our final output. Now look at the inner loop. For J in range 5, it print 5 star. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It prints 5 star in one row. After the inner loop finish, Python execute print this one. Python execute this one. The empty print moves to the cursor to the next line. This empty print moves to the cursor to the next line. Then the outer loop start the next row. Since the outer loop runs 5 times, 5 rows are printed. That is how we get 5 by 5 skew pattern. Let's take another example. Right triangle pattern. For I in range, and we put a 1 comma 6. In the next line, here we print I and run the program. Output is right triangle pattern. Let's take 2 to 3 minutes. Think about that, and then I will explain how the right triangle pattern is coming. Let's take 2 minutes break. This program is slightly different. The outer loop controls the row. The outer loop controls the row. The inner loop controls the number of stars. Let's try run it. First iteration is I is equal to 1. Inner loop become range 1. So 1 star is printed. So 1 star is printed. Second iteration I is equal to 2. Inner loop becomes range 2. 2 star are printed. Third iteration I is equal to 3. 3 star are printed. Fourth iteration 4 star are printed. In fifth iteration I is equal to 5. 5 star. Notice something amazing. The number of star is increased because the inner loop depends on the value of I. That's why this pattern forms a triangle. I have two questions for you. Which loop controls the row? The outer loop. Answer is the outer loop. Remember this. Which loop controls the columns or star? The inner loop. Okay, this section is complete. In the next section, we will learn three very important statements that every Python programmer should know: break, continue, and pass. You will be understand each one with practical coding example and clear explanation. Now, let's learn very useful topic useful statement called break. The word break, let's check here. Break statement. Break statement. The Google say the break statement in Python is used to immediately terminate the execution of the current loop. When encountered, it instantly stops the loop iteration and jumps to the next line of code directly outside the loop block. It means the word break. Here the word break means to stop immediately, means to stop, and means to use to stop immediately or terminate the execution. In Python, the break statement is used to terminate a loop immediately, even if the loop condition is still true. How it works? Here the working it works within both for and while loops. It is typically placed inside an if condition to trigger an early exist based on a specific criteria. If used inside a nested loop, it only exists the innermost loops where it is written, leaving outer loop running. Let's understand it within an example. Break statement. For I in range 1 comma 11, if I is equal to 6, then break, then print I, run the program, go to terminal. Here we write first Python, then the file name, the output 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Notice that 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 are not printed. Now let's understand why. First take 2 minutes to see the code and tell me why 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 are not printed. Let's take 2 minutes. Now let's understand why. First, first Python start the loop. During the first iteration I is equal to 1, Python checks if I double equal to 6 is 1 equal to 6. No. So Python skip the break statement and execute print I. Output become 1. Next iteration I is equal to 2, again 2 double equal to 6, false. Python prints 2. The same process continues 3, 4 and 5. Now the next iteration begins I is equal to 6. Python check if I double equal to 6. Now the condition is true, so Python execute break. The moment Python sees the break statement, it immediately exits the loop. It does not print the 6. It also does not continue with 7, 8, 9 or 10. The loop ends immediately. So remember one important rule. The break, note down that thing. The break statement completely terminate the loop. Real life example. Imagine you are searching for a book in library. As soon as you find the book, you stop searching. You don't continue checking the remaining shelves. This is exactly how the break statement works. Next example, stop on user input. Here we using while true. While true in the previous video I am telling you text is equal to input, enter something, enter something, type, exit to stop, then space is there. If text is equal to exit, then colon is there, then the break statement, then break statement, print, you entered, you entered, then text. Now run the program. While one second, okay, sorry, is capital, always run the code. Suppose the user enter Python. You entered Python. Again input hello. Hello. You entered hello. Now type exit. Enter something per type. The loop immediately stop. Now take 2 minutes to grasp this thing and tell me hmm, why loop is running forever because of what? Why loop is running forever because of what? The loop is running forever because of while true. But inside the loop we check if text is equal to exit. Whenever the user type exit, Python execute break and the loop ends. This is one of the most common use of the break statement, continue statement. Now let's learn another important statement, the continue statement. Check in Google, continuous statement in Python. The continue statement in Python is a loop control keyword used to skip the remaining code inside the current iteration of a loop and move directly to the next iteration. The continue state in the simple language I am telling you in my language, the continue statement does not stop the loop. Instead, it skips the current iteration and immediately start the next iteration. Many beginners confuse break and continue. Remember this simple rule. Break, stop the entire loop. Break, stop the entire loop. Continue, skip only the current iteration. Let's understand with example. First, continue statement. For I in range 1, 11, colon is there if I is equal to 6, colon, continue, continue the next print I. Run the program. The output 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6, 8, 9 and 10. Notice that only 6 is missing. 6 is missing. 1, 2, 3, then 4, then 5, then jump to the 7, then 8, then 9, then 10. Now I am explaining you why 6 is not coming. Initially I is equal to 1, Python check I double equal to 6, false. So it print 1. The same happens for 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 5. Now I is equal to 6. Python check if I double equal to 6. It is true. Means I is equal to 5, 6. Means 6 is equal to 6. It is true. Instead of printing the number, Python execute the continue. The continue statement tells Python. The continue statement tells Python. The very important thing I am telling you, note that skip everything below it and immediately move to the next iteration. Skip everything below it and immediately move to the next iteration. So 6 is skipped. Next I is equal to 7. The loop continues normally. Then 8, 9 and 10 are printed. Notice something important. The loop did not stop. Only one iteration was skipped. In the real life example, imagine you are taking attendance in class. One student is absent, you skip that student and continue taking attendance for the rest of the class. This that's exactly how continuous works. Next example, skip even number. For I in range 1, 11, colon is there, I, here I, we using modulus, then we do equal to 0, then continue, then 1, print this. Output is 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. Now the condition I modulus 2 double equal to 0 checks whether the number is even. Whenever Python finds an even number, it executes continues. So even number are skipped, only odd number are printed. The condition I modulus 2 is equal to 0 check whether the number is even. Whenever Python finds an even number, it executes continue. So even number are skipped, only odd number are printed. Difference between break and continue. Let's compare them. If here I equal to 5, then break and continue, print I. Output, check the output. Output is 1, 2, 3, 4. The loop stop completely. Now check continue. 111. Here we write changes to continue. Now see the output. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The loop continues after skipping only 5. Quick revision. Break, exit the loop immediately. I am writing here. For zoom move down that thing. Here. Here. Break statement. Break. Break is exit the loop immediately. And continue. Skip the current iteration and continue with the next one. Next, in the next section, let's talk the pass statement. Pass statement. Check the pass statement. Pass is a null statement in Python. It instructs to do nothing. Example, list 178 for item in list. Without pass, the program will throw a cursor. Now let's learn the last statement related to loops, which is the pass statement. The word pass means do nothing. Sometime while writing the program, we know that we will write code later, but at the moment we don't want Python to throw an error. In that situation, we use the pass statement. Let's understand it with an example. For I in range 1 here 6, for I is equal to 3, and change continues change to pass, print I. Now run the program. 1 2 3 4 and 5. Now you may think, why did Python still print 3? Let's understand that logic. When I become 3, Python check if I double equal to 3, the condition becomes true, Python execute pass. But the pass statement does absolutely nothing. It does not stop the loop, it does not skip the iteration, it does not print anything. It simply tells Python there is no code here right now, continue normally. After that, Python execute print I. So 3 is printed like every other number. 1 2 3 4 5. Another example of pass. Simply for I in range, here we put 5 and simply pass. Run the code. This program runs successfully. Nothing happens because the loop body contains only pass. Now difference between break, continuous and pass. This is very common Viva question. Let's understand it carefully. In the break, stop the entire loop immediately. Example for I in range. For I in range 1 comma 6, I is equal to 3. Here write break, run the code. Output is 1. As soon as Python reach 3, the loops ends. And to put here continue to see the difference. Run the code. Output 1 2 3 1 2 4 5. Only 3 is skipped. The loop continues normally. Pass means it does nothing. Pass print, check the output, run the code. Everything print normally. Quick revision for you. Remember the simple trick. Trick right here. Trick is break means stop, continue means skip, and pass do nothing. If you remember these three words, you will never confuse these statements. Now some Viva question. Question number 1. Which loop is better when the number of iteration is already known? Which loop is better? Writing question here. Sorry. Nothing. Here I am writing question number 1. No, I am asked as which loop is better when the number of iteration is already known? The answer is for loop. In the second question, which loop is better when the number of iteration is unknown? Answer is while loop. What does range 5 generate? Answer 0. Range 5 generate 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. 5, sorry, 4. Question number 4. Which statement stop the entire loop? Which statement entire the all loop? Answer is break. Which statement skip only one iteration? Continue. Which statement does nothing? Means pass. Try this program on your own. Writing here. First question is you for you. First print number from 100 to 1. Print all. Second the question is print all even number between 1 and 100. Third, print all odd number between 1 and 100. Question number 4, print all multiplication. Print all multiplication table of any number. Okay. In fifth, print a scale. Print a scale star pattern. 6, print a right triangle pattern. Print a right triangle pattern. 7, print a reverse triangle pattern. Create a menu using while true and break. Create a menu using while true and break. 9, create your own number guessing game. No, skip that. Only 8 question. Homework question for you. Print number from 100 to 1. Print all even number between 1 and 100. Print all number between 1 and 100. Print all multiplication table of any number. Print a square star pattern. Print a right triangle pattern. Print a reverse triangle pattern. Create a menu using while true and break. Pause the video and write down this question. Okay then, congratulations. If you have watched both part of this video, you successfully learned one of the most important topics in Python loops. Today we covered first but is loop, second while loop, third for loop, range function, nested loops, pattern printing, break, continue, pass, practical programs, practice question and viva question and CA midterm also. These concepts are used in almost every Python project, so make sure you practice all the programs shown in this video. In the next class, we will start another very important topic. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel